Okay guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. As you guys can see, we are in a creative world, and I have an idea for a new cool series that I want to do. I'm going to be giving you guys free tutorials so you guys can make your own worlds and stuff. And since this is the first episode, we're just going to go over some like normal kind of stuff, like how to use the phone, basic uses of the phone, how to build, or mainly what we're gonna go over is how do you set up your island. That is mainly what we're gonna be going over in this episode. So if you guys are interested, please stick around. And in other episodes, we're going to be going over specific things. Like I can tell you, the episode after this, we're going to be going over the storm beacons, which is one of my favorite tools in the game. But yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay guys, we're going to be going over the original game settings first. This is pretty easy. So with voice chat, you can either make it so you can only talk to people on your team, you can talk to everyone, which is what I normally do for my maps, it's just more fun that way, or no, like you can't talk at all. So that is teams. You can have free-for-all, cooperative, which everyone's on the same team, which is good for like if you're making editing course maps or something like that. And then you can just choose the number of total teams, which normally the maps I make are normally free for all. Custom I have actually never played, but that's probably pretty new. But I'm pretty sure that means you can like choose your teams. But cooperative and free for all is what I normally use. And then spawns, this is important. Normally I have it set to 1 for a lot of the maps I make. Infinite if you're just doing a fun practice map is what I would do. And then after last spawn, go to spectator or team 1, team 2, stuff like that. So like if you wanted, say you had 2 teams and you wanted it to be like, oh, after you get killed, you go to the other team. And something like that, like a game like that, that's what you could use that for. And then total rounds, this is cool. Normally I just bump it up to 150 depending on what I'm doing for the map. Team rotation, this is good if you want to have like different teams. Like say you want to do a 2v2, so you can just have every round you can switch up the 2v2 teams. Team visuals, I'm not really sure. I've never used this setting. Normally I just leave it around start. Time limit is very important. So like once you start the game, you only have 5 minutes to play. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I think it goes 12, 15, 20, and then none. The 20 is the max you can have. Normally I just put mine at none because I feel like that is a lot better because you can just play whatever. Fastest time win. This would be if you were doing an edit course probably or something like that. If you were competing, all teams must finish their scenes. If you were doing some race or whatever, you would have something like this, like all must teams must finish, or no, all teams must not finish. And then what is it? Win condition. This is just like most score, most round, most wins, which is important. Eliminations to end. You can choose how many eliminations it takes to end the game. Creature eliminations, objectives to end, collected score, last standing to end. This is what I normally have this on if I'm making some sort of like scrim map or something like that, because that's very important, or not, because the game won't end if you don't. Join in progress. So if someone like joins your island, it'll spectate them, or what I do for my scrim maps, which you guys should join, by the way, follow my Instagram and join my Discord to get in. I just have spawn, so you join in, you'll be joined into the round. But that's basically what that does. Spawn location, spawn pads, I would say you'd have that, it's good. This you don't really need to worry about. On start, auto start, you can have it 30 seconds, 60 seconds, something like that. I normally just leave mine off and manually start it. Vehicle trick is like if you want to make the score go up, out of bounds, yes. Allow spectating other teams, yes. And the elimination score, just that you can choose like, oh, I'm gonna give them a 0.1 if they eliminate someone or something like that. So that will do it for the game category. We are now going to be moving into game settings, which will probably take a little longer. Okay, guys, real quick before we go into game settings, which is probably gonna take a little bit, I'm just gonna show you description and permissions, which are pretty easy. So, description, you title your island, give it a description, pretty easy. I just named this Creative 101 because this is what I'm gonna be doing all my creative stuff in. Permissions, you can make it so it's private or everyone can edit. I normally leave mine on private, and then if someone joins, you can specifically choose it, so it prevents griefing and whatever. Now we're on to game settings. Time of day, you can change to default, so it goes. So I'm pretty sure that's the cycle random, or you can have it 2 a.m., 1 a.m. repeatedly, right? So you can just have it whatever you want it to be. Camera filter, I never really play with this stuff too much, so I can't give you a good stuff like this, but I'm pretty sure this just makes it different. The brightness will make the game darker, stuff like that. Uh, Light color, again, same thing, it just changes color. Fog thickness, same thing, fog color. You can change the color if it's black, blue. Fog thickness just makes it like visibility starting. But this is where I really think it's fun when you get into the health. Starting health, you can have 100% health, or you can have 50% health, and then you can change the max health to like 75 health or something like that. I don't know why you'd want to, but maybe you were making like a pickaxe war where you only wanted to have people be able one hit from pickaxe. It was very strategic, something like that. Starting shields, same thing. I normally have mine 100%, have max shields 100, same thing. So infinite ammo, if you want people to be able to have infinite ammo, turn it on. I normally use this if I'm making a practice map or just free for all, something like that. But if I'm making a scrims map or something like that, off. And same with infinite resources, turn that off. You can change the maximum building materials here. Harvesting style, this means if you harvest something, how many mats it will give you. Normally, if you're making some kind of map, I would make it Battle Royale. That just makes it a lot better. I'd leave, this is like 2 times, 3 times how much mats you get. So say you normally get 3, you'll get 6 if you have times 2 on. Allow aim assist, this is just like if you didn't want people to be able to use aim assist, you could turn that off. Allow building, I normally want that. Building can destroy environment. This I normally have on unless I'm making a certain map or something like that I don't want people building in, which shouldn't really matter. But environment damage also, I would have it on if you're making a map. But the only time I would say you wouldn't want this on is if you make like a box that people would fight in. You would want to turn this off so people couldn't get out of the box. Uh, Building damage, this is like you can only damage people from enemy builds, enemy and self build, none, all. I normally have this on. Pickaxe destruction, just default, or you can have like instant, so it instant breaks something, none, default. I just normally have default. PvP pickaxe, you can have default or none. I think that just means like you can't pickaxe something to do damage down but not out. That's like if you were in teams, someone could get knocked. Normally I would, for a lot of team games, I have this turned off, but that's just my opinion. Keep items when eliminated. Normally I have this on unless I'm doing a scrims map, then I have it to drop them. Allow items to be dropped, I would say always have this on. Allow items to be picked up, always have that on. Respawn time, you can change this to as much time as you want. Normally I have mine pretty low. Spawn immunity time, this is good. You can change it to like 0 seconds, which is very helpful if you're making a death run map because that means people can't cheat levels. Fall damage off. I don't have this on, but if you're making practice map, again, off. It's all your preference. Gravity, normal, I would leave it at that unless you want people to jump really high or not be able to jump at all. That's why you would change this. Jump fatigue, I always have that on just because I want the battle royale experience, but if you get annoyed with it, you can turn it off. Obviously, glider redeploy, you can have on. I normally turn it off for my maps. That's just my preference, but again, it's up to you guys. Player flight, I have no clue what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's like people being able to fly, like with the phone and stuff, and you don't really want that in your round, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, like it says fly by double jumping. So this gives you it, and if you ever need help, you can just look at this stuff down there. It will give you a pretty good player flight, sprint, same thing, flight speed, all that just goes with flying. So if you turn that off, don't have to worry about that. Player and locations, this is very important. You can change it to always show, always hide, team only. I normally have it for team only. And then this is what health granted. You can make it all max up to 1,000 health granted elimination. I normally just make mine like scrims 50-50, 50-50. so you can change that. I never work with this stuff, but like I think this is so if you hit something, it will deal damage to you. This is whether or not you should take damage, stuff like this. The stuff I don't normally do. Manual respawning I normally have on. Scrim snap, stuff like that, you want it off so people can't respawn, so people can't cheat the game or something like that. But that is it for the game's settings. Next we're going to be moving on to the UI settings, and then after that the island tools. Okay guys, we are in the UI settings. This is another very, very important setting for making your maps. So for time, this is just count up, count down. This isn't very important. It just shows like where the timer is, how much time's left, stuff like that. Not very important. I normally have mine on countdown. This stuff will say, okay, if the game, whoever wins the round or the game or whatever, it'll show them for 3 seconds before it goes to the game score display. So basically, three seconds. I feel like it's a little short. I normally have mine 4 5 seconds, something like that. In the game store, I definitely recommend turning this down to 5 because it's super long. I'd recommend having these the same, and same with these. Have this like 5. Basically, 15 is way too long. I really recommend changing that. HUD type. This will show like your score, objectives, eliminations, default, stuff like that. And then this I just normally default. This you want to do, so the win condition, you can have it eliminations, and then the tiebreaker might be assists or something like that. And then and then I'll just show you all the ones you have: assist, eliminated, how many times you were killed, collected items, health, you healed, I'm pretty sure, creatures you killed, score, objectives, and time, spawns that you had left, lap time. So you guys can play around with that if you want. Map display widget. This I normally have set to default map, because if you start the game and you won't go to open your map button, it will bring up the scoreboard. That I don't really like, especially for scrim maps, because you want to be able to see where the map is. So default map means if you press your map button, it will bring up the map of the island. Show island code watermark. I 100% agree that you guys should have this on. It is very, very important. I really do like it. And yeah, so it also, because like you don't want people stealing your stuff, that's the main reason we put this on. And then I forgot what island tools was, but basically you can create a backup for your island, you can restore it from a backup, and you can reset the island to its original state. So that is all we have time for today in this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy this little creative tutorial. Again, next time we'll probably go over the phone, because the phone is very tinkery. I haven't worked with it too much, but I'll give you guys my best 2 cents. And yeah, that will do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, join my Discord. I'd love to have you guys, and that will be all for today's video.